They had no care for me. Why should they? I looked at the tide line and found treasure in filth. It would travel up the beach and been abandoned on the ebb. And amongst the clay pipes and bones and broken pots I found sea pond. Not from her. Why had it washed up here and what now would become of it? It had been in the water long enough to attract line from it, but now it had reached the shore it had found and abandoned and forgiving. It was not welcome. What I should have done was thrown it back into the water and hoped to find its way home. That's what I should have done. But I just wanted to hold it. I just wanted to hold into something.
It was as if the water was drawing me in closer, like the lappings of the waves were pulling me in.
I must have started to wade in. I must have looked like I was trying to swim.
Oi, lady, you lost?
Is she mad?
Well, she might be.
What is she doing?
We've got a life, boy!
It was looking like I was sinking because the voices got closer, then they...
Oh, shit!
Don't you think we should get her out of the water?
Okay, come on out! I'm going to lay this spot. I've got her right!
Is she breathing?
Well,
Hello, missus. Fancy a swim? What happened? You got yourself into trouble in that river there.
we ought you are.
The seabird.
Are you okay?
Give us space. Move. What's your name, darling? Emilia.
You ain't from around here, are you?
Bishopsgate.
Bishopsgate!
What's so bad you want to throw yourself in there? Who's been knocking you about?
That's bankrupted you. Got yourself pregnant?
No. Well then, what have you got to worry about? Such lovely clothes.
Filthy though, you can't go back to Bishopsgate
Oh,
dressed like
we were some
that.
more sort, yeah. Oh no, I couldn't possibly.
Couldn't possibly. Why put on all the nerdy braces for?
Oh, come with us, lovey. We'll clean you up.
What are we doing? We're having a steam.
Oh, you'll love it. We'll make you feel brand new.
Yeah, well, this is all we've got. It's not as lovely as your shawl, I'm afraid.
Oh, thank you.
We can get your clothes washed up and sent on the way though if you have some coin.
No need. Why not? I don't want it.
Can we have it?
Yeah. Take them as my thanks. Oh, it's no big thing, missus. We fish them out the water most days. Nice to do it when it's still alive.
Can I give us some space?
Sorry.
What are you saying sorry for?
Everything.
What if we told you none of it was your fault?
What?
Whatever you're running from, it ain't your fault.
I think it is.
Nah, it isn't.
Sorry. I just don't know what to do.
Have you got any friends or someone you can call on, stay with or something?
Yeah.
Oh, Susie, come on then.
It was as if I'd been given a single child of light to follow through a darker room. The beam led me to them, to the countryside, to the Cliffords.
How would I let them myself forget them before this?
The warnings of Mei Li have blurred them from my view, perhaps. And just as water can draw you out to sea, it can also pull you back in. I felt a loss so profound, I was put to bed for several weeks. Couldn't quite handle the weight of it. I could barely speak, let alone write. Barely move. I had sunk so deep beneath the surface that only but time would heal me. Why did I dream of my father every night? He came. I felt 7 years old again. Everything begins with death.
At night, the Queen, arrayed to celebrate the rites, went forth with frenzied weaponry. Vines wreathed her head, a light spear lay upon her shoulder, and a deer screamed straight to her side. While with her troop of women through the woods she rushed, a sight of terror, frenzied by the grief that maddened her. The image of a real bacchanal. At last, she reached the lonely hut and, screaming back at cries, broke down the door, burst in and seized her sister. Guard turned back at gear and hid her face, concealed in ivy's leaves, and brought the girl back in a daze inside her palace walls. Terriers, see what he did.
They will do worse.
I like it. I like that they rescue her. Properly takes her band of women and hunts for her.
And it is because of the embroidery that Emilia wove that they learn the truth.
When he came
wretched as Emilia. The poor woman had been raped and had her tongue cut out by a sword, and I cannot even pretend to have been treated as badly as that.
There is no competition for heading on this, though, is there?
You are too young to know that.
I've seen a lot. Are there not any women in Greek myths who don't get brutally mutilated, raped, or killed?
Not many, but wasn't them out.
I know about Clytemnestra and Medea, and they are fearsome but not very nice.
No.
Do women who have power have to be cruel as well?
No, they don't.
I want to read stories about that.
Then we will have to write some. Shall we stop there?
Please don't make it a pupil. Please say you'll continue.
You are a very good pupil, but Margaret, do you truly want someone like me to teach you?
Someone like you? I would think that a woman who has learned to think for herself would be the perfect type of tutor for my daughter.
It's not the conventional view.
And we are not conventional women.
So, you'll do it?
How could I possibly refuse? Come now, let's not exhaust her. And will you leave us a while? May I ask you a question?
Of course.
When you were at court, what knew you of my husband George?
I regret not much.
You do not have to hide anything from me, Emilia. I'm aware of most of his indiscretions anyway. I'm just curious as to what those at court know.
I've not been welcome at court for some time, but I know he had an appetite.
Yes.
And that he was less than discreet.
And that I'm a fool.
No.
I am. And they see me one. He has taken all I have. He has forsaken our marriage vows. How could he?
Very easily, my lady, because it is their right.
By whose laws?
Their own. Though, madam, you know, I have done so myself.
But it didn't end well for you, did it? This one has even much as touched George, yet here I am torn in two. There's nothing I can do. But you can. You can write something for women to warn them.
What will I warn them of?
Snakes.
And how do I warn them of such tricks? And even if I had the means to publish, women are only permitted by the census a right of religion.
We will find a way, but for now we keep writing. For me, for women of everyone.
Who am I to do this?
You are my friend.
Then I will.
It was here, wasn't it?
Yes.
Here that I began to think, perhaps I wasn't quite done yet. It is a wondrous thing when someone instills their confidence in you. Believes you can do it and you alone. Sees you not to be a risk or a trifle. Sees you not to be patronised or dismissed. In my many years now, I see how valuable that is to any kind of creation. An assumption that says you will, instead of one that says you shouldn't. I was lucky enough in this moment to feel it right then.
I began by writing short poems with at first subtle warnings and instructions to women on how to approach marriage. I would then have Anne and Margaret read them and pass them quietly around to friends. What started small steadily became bigger. 1 or 2 copies became 10 or 20 copies. And they would be passed around so many times that they would often come back to us in several tattered pieces. But of course it was only a matter of time before they would end up in the wrong hands. In this instant, my dear friend Lady Catherine's husband, Sir Thomas Howard.
Out of my way! Very important man coming through.
Ah, dear Countess. I apologise for coming with little to no warning, but I'm afraid I was compelled to come here after experiencing something so vile and so terrible. I wanted to make sure you knew exactly who you were harbouring.
Whatever could you mean, Sir Thomas?
This. Well, I can hardly call her a lady. This female.
Sir Thomas, your position is quite out of place. Would you like to explain?
Emilia is a danger to us all.
Oh, heavens, how so?
Not only does she shame both her husband and herself in the most public display of vulgarity, but I am aware of the fact that she seems to be producing notes of filth, which encourage the most base and disreputable behaviour amongst fine young ladyfolk such as yourself.
And talking about her poems.
You've seen them.
Why, of course. I've helped to pass them round and reproduce them.
Reproduce!
To be quite frank with you, Sir Thomas, they really aren't meant to be. They're for the ladies' eyes only, but since you're here, and I'm sure Emilia would appreciate the feedback. Did you like them?
Yeah? Like them! They are the most revolting and insidiously terrifying thing I have ever had the displeasure pleasure of reading.
Not your cup of tea, then?
No, and I'm shocked and appalled at your lack of outrage about the matter. They call men by... They speak of Adam being at fault instead of Eve. They debase the very souls who support them, give them permission to live upon God's good earth. Instead of giving thanks for the kind generosity and disposition of all men, she seems to suggest that men are to be discarded and ignored in favour of a new order in which women are seen as equal. This preposterous notion gives no clear thought to the fact that for as long as time, immemorial women have never been equal to men, and must instead accept the natural order of things. Inferior, ever more so and subservient till the end. This poetry, if you can even call it that, is akin to a call of arms, and it is the most dangerous rubbish I have ever read. Can you imagine if all women came to believe what she suggests? That women deserve more than they are already so generously given? Can you imagine the horrors of that? Well, I can, and I will not stand for this, which is why I say to you, you will desist your terrible actions, or you will find yourself in the most destitute of positions. No one at court will entertain you. No patronage will ever come your way. Do not forget your husband is currently seeking knighthood for his part in the battles being waged, and it would reflect very badly for you both if you do not hush your tongue and stay your pen. Just think on that. Oh, and may I remind you of the growing discomfort, the kind of sorcery that this could be described as? You don't want to be tried as a witch, Emilia, I fear your crimes would not go down too well. Oh, and Lady Margaret, I thought better of you. I hope you will reconsider housing such a criminal as this.
Are you quite done?
Why, yes.
Good. Lady Catherine, is there anything you'd like to add?
My wife is in complete agreement with me.
I asked your good lady wife,
And she does not give an answer when I have done it for her.
would you let her speak?
I am in agreement with my husband.
You see?
I do hope my friend Emilia will see sense in her actions, as it does tarnish the rest of us so terribly.
Kate, surely you can agree this is a bit ridiculous. Witchcraft.
You would do well to heed my husband's advice.
Advice? It was hardly advice, it was a threat, and a terrible one. So how dare you come into my house and threaten my guests so?
It's all right, Countess.
No, it is not, and I would ask that they leave now.
I will report back to your husband how foolish his wife has been.
Well, you can tell a bastard what a fool I think he is.
Mother!
I have never heard such rude and crass language from one that would call herself a lady.
Get out, you old turd.
Both of you, out!
Disrespectful!
The cheek of it! Mother, you are wonderful.
The woods wasn't I. What a horrible man. But we must not be deterred.
And yet we should be. His threats are a very real one.
Emilia, he is scared. They all are.
Yes,
All that talk of witchcraft, for goodness sake.
I know.
Do not be deterred.
Search this now and you won't see it. Look for this in words and it won't be there. Almost nothing is kept, nothing is remembered. But in our muscles we feel it. Memories of intention. Memories of need and pain and fury. We hear the echoes bouncing down the passage of time and into our dreams. We read what was recorded and we see what is missing. We see what they do not want us to write down.
Always believe in your soul. You got the power to move. You're indestructible. Always believe it. You are yours.
Wife, you really sucked it, didn't you?
As did you. We have nothing.
Well,
No night to spice it all.
I'm afraid not.
And we must get creative.
Oh, I don't want to die a poor darling!
Find something. What can I do?
Find a way to return to court and play again.
humanity. No.
I'm going to teach women from over the bridge.
South of the river!
Yes. I understand women are generally on your radar, but even you must have noticed that growing to
Don't touch me.
have little to no access to education ever.
One question. How in the hell are you going to make money from doing that?
Whatever they can afford, I'll ask for.
Oh Lord, you think you're Jesus? The Mary Magdalene backside will lap it up. And how do you think teaching whores and fisher wives their ABCs is going to keep our living?
I don't care.
Pardon?
I no longer care about our standing.
Well, when we're languishing in the gutter, it will serve you right to not care.
Alfonso, I want to change.
Don't touch me!
Change things. You of all people must have longed for things to change.
Oh, what's that supposed to mean?
Things were different. Don't you think you would have been happier?
I don't know.
In many ways, we're very alike.
You haven't made me unhappy, no. If anything, it's been rather interesting to hear what you've been getting up to, darling.
I'll be careful.
Clever woman.
So what did I do? I began to teach.
Emilia, sorry we're late. Something up and down at the ducks and we had to run it. It's a broken down car.
When you were flipping everywhere.
Women screwing about a lost sheep.
And some idiot man trying to beat up a statue.
Yeah, just the usual.
Yeah, but I heard that woman was being dragged off on charges of witchcraft.
She wasn't. It's so hysterical. I wish they'd stop with all that nonsense.
It's terrifying, it is what it is.
I don't like the way things are going at all.
If we thought you did it to the devil, you'd be up in flames before you knew it.
Alright, please respect my privacy. Me and the devil have a very respectable thing going on. Anyway, it's the coin I owe you from last week, Emilia, and the one I owe you from today. I've had a really good week at the Dirty Dick, so I'm flat.
Oh, I bet you are, you filthy Danish bitch. You're the devil living here.
Serving, I was serving. For fuck's sake, tell them, Emilia, they won't be ladies if they don't get their minds out the gas.
Okay, settle down. Now, did you all get a chance to read what I gave you this week? Right, about that. I did read it, but my husband found it and he used it on the pod.